years old and has bowled an awful lot as an amateur.
Well, he has so much international experience, Phil, that I haven't looked at him as a rookie at all this year, although he is to the PBA as he throws his first shot on lane 15.
Just like that, and last week he bowled awfully well.
He did. He had bowled a very, very solid game, but Brian Voss just a little bit too much for him last week. And Brian Himmler certainly trying to be too much for him today.
So Himmler now up in the first frame. Looked like he moved a little farther left and still left the 10 pin.
Yeah, a little bit of a soft 10. The 6 pin sort of lays in the channel. Doesn't quite get out. Take a look at the 6 pin. In the channel, tries to bounce out. Doesn't get there and leaves the 10 pin. That's the 4th 10 pin that he's left in the first game, and 1/10 he's bowled. Hang on.
Able to get it. Himmler bowled very well in match play. 16 wins, just 8 losses. So Himmler with a spare, and Patrick Healey starts off this second match with a strike.
And unfortunately for Brian Himmler, his wife Alicia wasn't able to be here this evening, but he wanted me to say that he loves her. And he also wanted me to say hi to the guys at Cherry Grove Lanes who will be watching and rooting even as we speak.
All right, strike in the second. So you have to say I love you. I did. So Brian comes through for the gang. Watching in that Wednesday night league. As Himmler with a strike. In the second, Patrick Healey.
If you take a look at Patrick Healey, really very, very good player, very good tactician, good mind, knows how to get it done, but everybody today knows how to leave the 10 pin.
Well, it's been that stubborn 10 pin throughout the first match and a couple of frames here.
I believe that's 9 10 pins that have been left today, and there's the same shot that Himmler had on the right-hand lane, the half 10 with the 6 pin just lays in the channel. As you can see, the events for this year for Patrick Healey, he's bowled in 10, cashed in 5.
He comes through, making that 10 pin. So, with that even, both players 20 in the first. However, Himmler working on a strike, and Healey a spare. When you talk about Patrick Healey, won the gold medal in doubles and trios in the 91 FIQ World Championships, also won the 95 World Cup, placed third in the 97 and 98 United Arab Emirates Open. The list goes on and on for this 30-year-old. He started off 13th, but really hung around, the top 15 or so all week long, and then made his way up the ladder to the televised finals.
Well, I think the longer the tournament is, the better chance for Patrick Healey to get to the top 5, because he's such a strong bowler, not just from the physical standpoint, but the way he manages his game. And there's his lovely wife, Teresa. She watches and praying for hubby.
Some wives known to line up the players a little bit. Not Teresa. She kind of sits back. Lets Patrick do the bowl.
Doesn't know too much about the game. That's another shot that's left off of his hand. Will the 9 pin go? It does.
Looks like David Wells winning the game there for the Yankees. But I'll tell you what, Wells a competitor, and this Himmler, quite a player as he gets that 9 pin to fall forward.
And we'll take a look. This ball never gets as far to the right as that one where he left the 8-10 the last game. He's found something. He needs to stay there. Just barely gets the 9 pin to fall out. Really a very, very fortunate shot. And the pins are heavier, but his ball drives past the 9 pin, and I'm not really sure what it was that knocked the 9 pin over, but Brian very happy that it did.
Brings this one back, able to get it to set in the pocket. So Brian Himmler now taking charge in this second match.
It certainly seems as if Brian Himmler likes that left-hand lane a lot better. Right now, Brian Himmler up by 20 pins over Patrick Healey. We'll be back for the rest of the match right after this word.
Brian Himmler up by 20 here in match 2 over Patrick Healey, and Healey has bowled very well. Just the spare in the second frame, wrapped around a couple of strikes.
Left the soft 10 here on lane 16. Now, will he try and slow the speed down a little bit, get the ball a little deeper in the pocket? We'll take a look. Actually comes in light, and very unfortunate to leave the 7 pin. In today's game, with these reactive resin balls, they're so strong, and the back ends are hooking pretty good. That's a shot that usually will strike. So anytime you come in light like that, you're really expecting it to strike.
Averaging about a little over 208 here on the television pair.
Another one of our players that really didn't light him up on this pair.
Healey trying to pick up the 7 pin. smooth. Nice style.
Yeah, good-looking young rookie. Needs to really get it going, and it certainly seems like the left-hand lane, lane 15, has been the more accommodating of the two. We're seeing quite a few strikes on lane 15 and lots of 10 pins. We're seeing all the 10 pins left on that darn lane 16.
Healey with a 279, his big game of the week. He's made one PBA telecast as an amateur before last week. He placed third in the 95 Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. Of course, last week he finished third in the National Finance Championship in Virginia Beach. Beautiful shot. So Patrick Healey likes that lane. He has struck each time on that lane.
Well, Teresa certainly approves, and I think if she had her way, she'd go down and kick that darn 7-pin down that he left in the previous frames. We take a look at Patrick Healey. Watch the high flush shot. Just a beautiful release from Patrick. Just needs to figure out this lane that Brian Himmler is on. And well, Brian's got it figured out, but my gosh, another solid 10 pin. There have been solid 10s left on 16, and there have been the half 10. So it's almost getting to be impossible for these guys to knock down all 10 on the right-hand lane.
Himmler up by 19 as he steps on the approach. Tries to pick up the 10 pin. It's been interesting at times trying to pick up the 10 pin, but he's got that one well covered.
Well, he's made it on the far right side. Now he tried making it on the left side. All you have to do when you shoot spares, you watch these pros go hard and straight, a lot of times changing balls. You don't have to get a lot of it, just enough.
These players practice a lot of time on spares. You know, a lot of amateurs, when they're bowling a tournament, they just want to throw that strike ball.
Well, I think they practice quite a bit on shooting 10 pins because they do switch balls a lot, so they want to make sure they have a good feel with both balls.
So Himmler now up in the 6th, sending it out. Here it comes, and able to kick out that 10 pin.
And interestingly enough, Patrick Healey has chosen to finish on the right-hand lane. That's the lane that he's been up on twice and has yet to get a strike on, allowing Himmler to finish on what I consider to be the easier of the two lanes, lane 15.
They're chanting for Healey.
Trying to energize him a little bit. That looks good. And good it was.
That cuts it down to 9. So a 9-pin lead for Brian Himmler. First match very close, 194 to 184. Himmler a winner to move on.
Shoulder high backswing, follow through straight toward the target, and the ball right where he wanted to see it.
So Healey, 3-time U.S. National Amateur Champ. There you have it, 91, 92, and again in 95. Second straight week he's made the televised finals.
With the opportunity to take the first lead of the match. Will it get there, though? That ball did not get off his hand the way he wanted it. Didn't get the fingers in the ball. The lift wasn't there. If we take a look at the pins, the 2, 4, 5 will be standing. Fortunately for Healey, gets a little bit of a bump on the 4-pin. It knocks into the 2 and just leaves an easy 5-pin, leaving him down by 10 pins.
So Healey try to make the single pin spare. Got it.
And you notice when he shot that 5-pin, he was actually shooting his strike shot.
There you have the scoreboard. Boy, it is a 10-pin game right now. And here's a word from the Professional Bowlers Association. Welcome back to the Brunswick Long Island Open. A 10-pin advantage for Brian Himmler here in the second match. So Himmler working on a strike up in the 7th frame.
A great opportunity to put even more pressure on Patrick Healey. Take this up to a 20-pin lead up on the difficult lane 16. Will the 10-pin fall?
No doubt. No doubt about that one. So now it is a 20-pin lead for Brian Himmler. He's won 5 regional titles. He was voted the headquarters region player of the year back in 1996 when he won 3 regional championships that year. Certainly a great player. Still looking for that first win, however, on the PBA Tour.
Now he's got the talent to do it. Excuse me, Phil.
No.
He needs to just keep making good shots, try and put even more pressure on his opposition.
And what comes to there, you think of players like a Pete McCordick who went 9 or 10 years without a win, a great player. You think of those great players, it takes a long time. You hope that this kid certainly wins the title very soon because he's well deserving of it.
Well, I think he will, but take a look at his style from behind. Really opens up those shoulders that enables him to launch the ball out toward the right-hand part of the lane and then hook it back into the pins. Patrick Healey, he's working on a spare and desperately needs to get something going as he leaves the week 10 once again on lane 16. And time right now is running out for Patrick Healey as he's down by 31 pins, looking to make a spare in the 8th frame.
Well, this kid has learned a lot over the last couple of weeks. Again, last week bowled a very solid game. This week, again, bowling very well. Just not able to get those 10 points to fall.
Well, he's going to be someone that you're going to see very often. And
Teresa will see him very often.
Yeah, Teresa is... she's at a loss. You know, it's tough for the wives. All they can do is just hope that that their guy can go out there and get it done. And right now for Patrick, it's not looking very good. Still, though, with the possibility of 228 if he were to strike out in the 9th and 10th. That would put a lot of pressure on Brian Himmler. Needs to start now. I think he's saying, finally, I tripped something. I got a break. And his wife, Teresa, saying...
Just knock him down.
Yes, a break.
So, again, a possible 228. And
all Himmler needs right now, Phil, is 2 marks in the 9th and 10th. And what a shot. He just diced those pins apart, leaving the 7 pin. The 5 pin just shot across. Something ran interference. Didn't quite get into the 7 pin. Still in good shape. Needs to make sure he picks this up. Any kind of a spare or strike in the 10th frame, Brian Himmler will be a winner.
First things first. Try and pick up the 7. Throws a straight hard.
You see a lot of young guys come out on tour and they hook the ball at those single pin spares, but it doesn't take long on this tour to learn that you really have a much better chance if you can develop a straight shot to both the corner pin sides, the 7 and the 10 pin.
So once again, Himmler just needs a mark here.
And right now, it's all mental right now for Brian Himmler. This is the lane he has been striking on more often than not. No excuses, should be able to make a good shot in the 10th frame, and, you know, sometimes the ball gets a little bit heavy.
Leaving the 3-6, and we saw Emilio Monticelli slide by and miss this in match 1.
Yes, we did. Now, this is a spare that right now Brian Himmler's very happy to have, because if that ball would have been just a little bit right of where it finished, it could have easily been a wide open split and really, really left things open. Good conversion.
Covers him.
Himmler now just needs 3 pins.
And he will move on to take on another rookie. So looks like he's going to get by 1 rookie, and he's going to go up against Robert Smith. Should he just stay behind the foul line and get a couple of pins here? Great.
Just needs to take care of business. He does. That's what he was looking for the first shot in the 10th frame.
So Brian Himmler is your winner. He has a 236 in match 2. The best Patrick Healey can do is 228. So Brian Himmler will move on into that semifinal match, and he is bowling very well. Survived that opening match against Emilio Monticelli, and now we'll move on to face Robert Smith. Patrick Healey with a strike, first ball in the 10th.
And Patrick Healey, somebody who you're going to be seeing quite often on Pro Bowlers Tour. He's certainly figured out what he needs to do in order to get himself into the top 5. Now the next step, how to win a match against these professional bowlers.
He's bowled awfully well here on the fall tour.
Gee, another 10 pin. What a surprise.
So he's going to finish, should he make this, with 217. Another admirable performance by the rookie, the 30-year-old rookie.
Well, he made a lot of good shots, but was not able to get the carry. Brian Himmler, 236. Patrick Healey, 217. And for Patrick, I believe he's going to say to himself, let's just get it done next week.